Shalom, Ahmed Yashar here. I'm going to read this week's parasha, this week's Torah portion. It's called Bahar. It consists of Leviticus chapter 25, verse 1, through Leviticus chapter 26, verse 2. You can find and follow me on machonmamre.org's website. I will provide a link underneath this video and in an annotation. And the Lord spoke unto Moses in Mount Sinai, saying, وَيْدَبِّرْ l-Adonoy el-Moshe b'har Sinai lemor. Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when you come into the land which I give you, then shall the land keep a Sabbath unto the Lord. دَبِّرْ al-Bnei Yisrael v'omarto alehem, ki thoveu el-ha'oras asher ani noten lochem, v'shavetho ha'oras shaboth. l-Adonoy. 6 years you shall sow the field, and 6 years you shall prune your vineyard, and gather in the produce thereof. 6 shonim tizrah sodacha, و6 shonim tizmur karmacha, v'osafta et tevu'othah. But in the 7th year shall be a Sabbath of solemn rest for the land, a Sabbath unto the Lord. You shall neither sow your field nor prune your vineyard. ובשנה השביעית שבת שבתון יהיה לאורס, שבת l-Adonoy. סודך לא תזרע, וכרמך לא תזמר. That which grows of itself of your harvest you shall not reap, and the grapes of your undressed vine you shall not gather. It shall be a year of solemn rest for the land. إذ صفيح قصيرك لا تقصر وإذ عنب نزيرك لا تبصر شناث شبوثان يهيا لأورس. And the Sabbath produce of the land shall be for food for you and for your servant, and for your maid, and for your hired servant, and for the settler by your side, that sojourn with you. وهيثو شبث هؤرس لخم لأخلا لخا ولعبدخا ولا أموثاخا وليسخيرخا ورثشوذاخا هاغوريم عموخ. And for your cattle, and for the beasts that are in your field, shall all the increase thereof be for food. وليفهمتاخا ولا حيا أشر بأرصاخا تيهيا خور تبوثاه لا أخل. And you shall number 7 Sabbaths of years unto you, 7 times 7 years. And there shall be unto you the days of 7 Sabbaths of years, even 49 years. وصفرت لخا 7 شبثوث شونيم 7 شونيم 7 بعميم وهيو لخا يمي 7 شبثوث هالشونيم 49 شونا. Then shall you make proclamation with the blast of the horn on the 10th day of the 7th month. In the day of atonement shall you make proclamation with the horn throughout all your land. وها عبرت شوفرت روع بحودش هالشبيعي بعصر لحودش بيوم هكيبوريم تعابير شوفار بخور أرستخم. And you shall hallow, sanctify the 50th year, and proclaim liberty throughout the land, and to all the inhabitants thereof. It shall be a jubilee unto you, and you shall return every man unto his possession, and you shall return every man unto his family. وقدشتم إث شنثها حميشيم شونا بقروثم درور بأورس لخول يشباها يوفلهي تيهيا لخم وشفتم إيش الأحزوثة وإيش المشبحت تشوفو. A jubilee shall that 50th year be unto you. You shall not sow, neither reap that which grows of itself in it, nor gather the grapes in it of the undressed vines. Yovelhi shanath ha-Hamishim shona tihiya lochem لا تزرعوا ولا تقصروا أث سفيحها ولا تبصروا أث نزيراها. For it is a jubilee, it shall be holy unto you. You shall eat the increase thereof out of the field. Ki yuvelhi قدش تيهي لكم من هالصوذاء تخلو أثتبوا أثه. In this year of Jubilee you shall return every man unto his possession. Bishnath hayyovel hazoth toshuvo ish l-Ahuzotha. And if you sell aught unto your neighbor, or buy of your neighbor's hand, you shall not wrong one another. According to the number of years after the Jubilee, you shall buy of your neighbor, and according unto the number of years of the crops, he shall sell unto you. במספר שונים אחר היובל תקנה את עמיתך, במספר שני שבועות ימכור לך. According to the multitude of the years you shall increase the price thereof, and according to the fewness of the years you shall diminish the price of it. For the number of crops does he sell unto you. לפי רוב השונים תרבה מקנופה, ולפי מעט השונים תמעיט מקנופה, כי מספר התבואות הוא מוכר לך. And you shall not wrong one another, but you shall fear your God, for I am the Lord your God. ولا ثانوا إيش أثعمثا ويراثا ما ألوهاخا كي أني أذنوي ألوهاخم. Wherefore you shall do my statutes and keep mine ordinances, and do them, and you shall dwell in the land safely. وعسيثم أثحقثاي وأثمشبوطاي تشمروا وعسيثم ثم ويشابتم على هورس لذاطح. And the land shall yield her fruit, and you shall eat until you have enough, and dwell therein in safety. ونثناه هورس بريه وأخلتم للسبع ويشابتم لذاطح علاها. And if you shall say, what shall we eat the 7th year? Behold, we may not sow, nor gather in our increase. Then I will command my blessing upon you in the 6th year, and it shall bring forth produce for the 3 years. وصبيثي أثبر خوثي لخم بشنا هالشيشيث وعصاف أثهتبوه إشلاش هالشونيم. And you shall sow the 8th year, and eat of the produce, the old store, until the 9th year, until her produce come in. You shall eat of the old store. وزرعتم إث هالشنا هالشمينيث وأخلتم من هالتبوء يشون عذ هالشنا هالتشيعيث عذبا تبوء تخلو يشون. And the land shall not be sold in perpetuity, for the land is mine, for you are strangers and settlers with me. وهؤلاس لثم خير لسميثوث כי לי האורס, כי גרים ותושבים אתם עמודי. And in all the land of your possession you shall grant a redemption for the land. ובכל ארץ אחוזתכם גאולה תיתנו לאורס. If your brother becomes poor and sells some of his possession, then shall his kinsman that is next unto him come, and shall redeem that which his brother has sold. כי יומוך אחיך ומוכר מאחוזתך, וראה הקורב אלו וראה את ממכר אחיו. And if a man have no one to redeem it, and he be waxen rich, and find sufficient means to redeem it, وإيش كي لا يهيلا قائل وهيستيغو يوذا ومصا كذا الله. Then let him count the years of the sale thereof, and restore the overplus unto the man to whom he sold it, and he shall return unto his possession. وحشاب أث شنامي مكورا وهشيب أث هعوذف لو إيش أشر موخارلا وشوب لا أحزوثا. But if he have not sufficient means to get it back for himself, then that which he has sold shall remain in the hand of him that has bought it until the year of Jubilee, and in the Jubilee it shall go out, and he shall return unto his possession. وإملا ما سآيوذا ده هشيفلا وهيا ميمكورا بياد حقنا ثا عادشنا ثيوفال ويصاب يوفال وشاب لا أحزوثا. And if a man sell a dwelling house in a walled city, then he may redeem it within a whole year after it is sold. For a full year shall he have the right of redemption. وإيش كي يمكر بث مشاب عير حما وهي ثاقو اللوثا عدتم شناث ميمكورا يوميم تهيار اللوثا. And if it be not redeemed within the space of a full year, then the house that is in the walled city shall be made sure in perpetuity to him that bought it. Throughout his generations it shall not go out in the Jubilee. وإما لا يقول عذ ملف لا شنا ثميما وقم هبايث أشر بعير أشر لحما الصميثوث لقانا أثا ذر ثا لا يسا بيوال. But the houses of the villages which have no wall around them shall be reckoned with the fields of the country. They may be redeemed, and they shall go out in the Jubilee. وَبَتَ ha-Hasirim أَشَرْ أَنَ لَهَمْ حُمَا صَبِيب على سذاه أورس يحشاف قل الله تهيا لا ويوفال يسا. But as for the cities of the Levites, the houses of the cities of their possession, the Levites shall have a perpetual right of redemption. وعرى هلوييم بطي عرى أحوزوثم قولات عرام تيهيا لالوييم. And if a man purchase of the Levites, then the house that was sold in the city of his possession shall go out in the Jubilee, for the houses of the cities of the Levites are their possession among the children of Israel. وأشار يغال من هلوييم ويصا من كار بايث وعير أحوزوثا بيوفال كي فوتي عريه هلوييم هي أحوزوثم بثخ بني إسرائيل. But the fields of the open land about their cities may not be sold, for that is their perpetual possession. وسذا مغراش عريهم لا يمخير كي أحوزات عرام هو لهم. And if your brother becomes poor, and his means fail with you, then you shall uphold him. As a stranger and a settler shall he live with you. وخي ومخ أحيخا ومطايا ذا عماخ وها حزق طابع جار with الشاف وحي عماخ. You shall not take interest of him or increase, but fear your God, that your brother may live with you. أل تقح ما إتا ناشخ وتربيث ويورثا ما ألوهاخا وحي أحيخا عماخ. You shall not give him your money upon interest, nor give him your victuals for increase. את כספך לא תיתן לה בנשך ובמרביץ, לא תיתן אוכלך. I am the Lord your God, who brought you forth out of the land of Egypt, to give you the land of Canaan, to be your God. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להוסיף לכם את ארץ כנען, להיות לכם לאלוהים. And if your brother becomes poor with you, and sell himself unto you, you shall not make him to serve as a bondservant. וכי ימוך אחיך עמך, ונמכר לך, לא תעבד בה עבודת עבד. As a hired servant, and as a settler, he shall be with you. He shall serve with you unto the year of Jubilee. كالصخير كتشاف يهيا عمخ عاد شنات هيابل يعبد عمخ. And then shall he go out from thee, he and his children with him, and shall return unto his own family, and unto the possession of his fathers shall he return. ويعصى ما عمخ هو وبنو عما والشاب المشبحته والأحوزات أبثو يشوف. For they are my servants, whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. They shall not be sold as bondmen. كي عبودايهم أشر هساثي الثوم مئارس مسرايم لا يماخروا ميم كارث آذل. You shall not roll over him with rigor, but shall fear your God. لا ترداب بفارخ ويراثا ما ألوهاخا. And as for your bondmen and your bondmaids, whom you may have, of the nations that are around you, of them you shall acquire bondmen and bondmaids. وعبدخا وأماثخا أشر يهيولخ مئث هجايم أشر سبيبثاخم مهم تقنو عبد وأما. Moreover, of the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, of them you may acquire, and of their families that are with you, which they have begotten in your land, and they may be in your possession. وغم بني هتشوفيم هاغوريم عموخم مهم تقنو من مشبح توم أشر عموخم أشر هليذو بأرسخم وهيولوخم لا أحزو. And you may make them an inheritance for your children after you, to hold for a possession. Of them may you take your bondmen forever. But over your brethren, the children of Israel, you shall not rule, one over another, with rigor. وإثنا حلتم الثوم يبنيخم أحريخم لرشث أحزاء لعلم وهم تعبذو وبأحيخم بني إسرائيل إيش بأحيو لا ترداب بفارخ. And if a stranger who is a settler with you becomes rich, and your brother becomes poor beside him, and sell himself unto the stranger who is a settler with you, or to the offshoot of a stranger's family, وخي تسيغ ياد غير وتشوب عماخ وماخ أحيخا عما ونمكر لغير تشوب عماخ أول عيكر مشباحث غير. After that he is sold, he may be redeemed. One of his brethren may redeem him. أحرى نمكار قُلّا تيهيلا أحوذ ما أحو يغالانو. Or his uncle or his uncle's son may redeem him, or any that is near of kin unto him of his family may redeem him. Or if he becomes rich, he may redeem himself. ذا vendeva يغالانو مشائر بصارة من مشبحتا يغالانو هسيرا يذا ونغال. And he shall reckon with him who bought him from the year that he sold himself to him unto the year of Jubilee, and the price of his sale shall be according unto the number of years, according to the time of a hired servant shall he be with him. وحشاب عمقناه مشناث همخرا لا عذ شناث هيوبل وهيا كاسف ممكرا ومسبار شونيم كما سخير يهيا عما. If there be yet many years, according unto them he shall give back the price of his redemption out of the money that he was bought for. إم عذ ربث باشونيم لفيهن يوشيف قولوثا مكاسف مقنوثا. And if there remain but few years unto the year of Jubilee, then he shall reckon with him, according unto his years shall he give back the price of his redemption. وإم معط نشآر بشونيم عند شناث هيوبل وحي الشابل كفي شانو يوشيف أث قولوثا. As a servant hired year by year shall he be with him. He shall not rule with rigor over him in your sight. كسخير شنا باشنا يهيا عما لا يردن بفارخ لعناخا. And if he be not redeemed by any of these means, then he shall go out in the year of Jubilee, he and his children with him. وإما لا يقال بإلا ويصاب بشنات هيوبل هو أوفانو عما. For unto me the children of Israel are servants. They are my servants whom I brought forth out of the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. Ki li bnei Israel عبوديم عبودايهم أشر هسيثي ثوم مئارس مسرايم أني أذنوي ألهيخن. You shall make for yourselves no idols, neither shall you rear up for yourselves a graven image, or a pillar monument, neither shall you place any figured stone in your land, to bow down unto it, for I am the Lord your God. لا تعصوا لخم أليليم وفاسل ومصيبا لثقيم لخم وآبن مسكيث لا تتنو بأرسخان لهشتاح واث علاها كي أني أذنوي ألهيخن. You shall keep my Sabbaths and reverence my sanctuary. I am the Lord. أثشبث ثاي تشمرو ومقدوشي تيراؤو أني أذنوي.